used to have fortune cookies in my videos pretty often, and I would always open the fortune cookie and read what was inside, and that was my prediction for that month. So I have one here. Let's open it and see what's my prediction for this year. Actually, I already ate a few, and I'm not going to lie, some of the things that were in the fortune cookies were not that funny or not that great. Okay, let's see. Your next trip to a bookstore will be rewarding. Find your reading glasses. Well, actually I will not be going to a bookstore anytime soon because I actually bought a lot of books right before Christmas, and that was because I thought I'm going to have more time to read this year. However, it seems like I will not, which we will get into in a second. I also love fortune cookies. They taste like strawberry. Valentine's Day is coming up, so let's open it. But this one is crushed already. Kind of like my hopes and dreams. I don't even have to open it because I see the prediction over there. You'll love the person in the mirror. Why am I even trying? Okay, you know what? Let's open another one. This one didn't count. I'm just going to eat it later. Okay, let's see. There we go. Cupid's arrow is aimed directly at your heart. Brace for impact. Well, anyways. So, let's talk about what I actually wanted to talk about. My year 2025 did not start on a good note at all. And see, I was actually wondering whether I should even make this video because I don't have a lot of positive things to talk about, and now I'm thinking, like, should I? Okay, anyways, well, I'm already filming it, so it's too late. So basically, last fall I switched jobs. I started working in tech. I know that a bunch of people asked me about my job, so yeah, I switched to tech. And then first week of January came, and I got some news. And I will not be sharing the news on here. It's in the February Ramble on my Patreon, and that's because it requires a lot of context, and that context is only available on Patreon. And it's also like very personal. It involves people that I do not want to talk about on my main channel. However, the outcome was that even though I had a really good job, I still had to work more, and I have to look for part-time jobs now. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I was posting less, because I was just searching and searching for jobs, and then one of them looked really promising at during the first interview, and then it turned into a complete shit show, and just thinking about it almost makes me angry because it was so time consuming. And I swear, the longer I was going through the onboarding / interviewing process, the worse it got. It was so bad. Oh my god, I wasted so much time thanks to that job. However, yeah, I did not get it, so now I'm again searching for another one. Now, because I'm already sacrificing my free time in a way, because I already have a job, it's just something extra. I want it to be like a proper one, not like minimum wage. I'm basically searching for something that requires this, like, some level of expertise that I now have, or skills, and so it takes a lot of time. You know, it's not like a retail job or something. So yeah, but I'm not going to lie, it's just so tedious and it takes so much of my energy. I find actual working less stressful and less exhausting than searching for a job. Like, I do not wish this upon anyone. It is just, yeah. Also, for some strange reason, I've been dealing with like a mild level of sickness for 2 months now, and I can't seem to get rid of it. And I feel like maybe it's because of my stress levels that weaken my immune system. So whatever virus I meet, I catch it basically, right? So it's just, yeah, I don't know, this year, yikes. But that's just life. I feel like I choose specifically to share only positive things on my YouTube channel, and then I go more into detail on my Patreon, and I actually share like some really, really personal and sometimes not so great stuff. Maybe it's important to have a balance, you know. Anyways, I've been watching ASMR to relax, but I also watch ASMR sometimes when I'm working, which I don't know if I should be doing that. So in a way, like, sometimes just watching ASMR is not enough, and I've been watching a lot of vintage bag repair videos. Some of them are just so relaxing to me, and I love watching old things turn into almost new things. I just love repairing stuff, even in my real life, not just, you know, watching content like that. And it brings me some level of peace and joy. Yeah. I am trying to read more, however, these days. I can't really, I don't know, it's hard for me to find the time for it. It's hard for me to find the time for rest as well, because, yeah, I've been just applying to like one company after another, and then what bothers me is that sometimes they require a cover letter, even for like a part-time position. For that, sometimes I use ChatGPT a little, and then I change it so it wouldn't sound like a computer. That saved my butt a couple of times, I'm not going to lie, because it's such a waste of time. Cover letters are the worst thing when it comes to like applying for a job. Why? Like, especially when I know that most of the companies they will not hire you. Why do I have to spend so much time for it, you know? Anyways, so I end up writing. Usually I got one, but I need a bit of help from ChatGPT, because if I didn't, then that's all I would be doing, just writing cover letters. Like, I'm trying to watch some shows to relax too. I started watching this show this process. But here they just say, oh, I'm leaving next week, like no visa, nothing. That's what's bothering me so much. It just, yeah, anyways, I wanted to be a bit more realistic, but I know I'm asking for too much, obviously. Also, I wanted to bring this up. Can someone tell me why Spotify no longer does the playlist in a bottle? If you don't know, this was a feature that was relatively new, and at the end of January usually, you could create a playlist, seal it for like a year, and then you would get it next year. And the playlist always had like fun little prompts that you would complete. And honestly, this year when I opened my playlist in a bottle from last year, it was so much better than the Wrapped. The Wrapped sucked. It was just missing personality, and they no longer have that feature. I was excited about it. I was excited to open my playlist and create a new one for next year. At the end of the last one, you could write like a little message for you, and that is gone now. And last year, I remember I put thought into it. I was trying hard, and that's why it was like it was such like a good feature. I don't know why they got rid of that. I'm not even excited for the Wrapped anymore because I don't think it's even accurate. I know that someone did a research and compared the data, and it was not accurate, right? Like their own data and the data from the Wrapped, it was not accurate. So what are we doing here? Why am I even paying for Spotify if it does not have those features? Those features were the ones that made it fun and exciting, you know? And the Wrapped, I don't know. Yeah, anyways, I'm just complaining today, but so yeah, I've been also doing some spring cleaning already. I know that it's not spring yet, I know. I'm doing early spring cleaning, but I've been donating a bunch of social media, right? To the point I feel like it's too much. It's just too much. Think about how many different ads you watch a day on social media. No wonder that we feel like our brains just fried, from all of the ads and the crazy marketing and the short form content. I've been trying to step away from it, and instead of consuming, I want to create my own content. But then that is not easy either, especially because I'm not used to creating like non-ASMR content, and it's so awkward for me. I know that it will get better in time, but I remember when I started with my ASMR channel, I was also really awkward, and then with the time I got better, but it took me years to become more comfortable. Obviously I'm not going to be perfect when I just start, but it's a little frustrating, I'm not going to lie. And I just want to consume less ads, less social media, less clothing, less everything basically. That is my goal for 2025. I recently read this quote and I feel like it's so true. Back in the day, we used to take a break from reality on the internet. Now we take a break from the internet in the reality. Isn't that so true? When did it switch? It feels like it's too much. It's too much. Too many bad news. Too many ads. It's too much. Let's take a step back. I also remember an explanation on why social media is so addictive, and it's because when you want to close the app, you're fighting against the best engineers in the world that specifically designed the apps to make you stay longer watching content and watch more ads. Isn't that so true? Think about it. Think about the next time you'll spend hours and hours on social media. It's literally designed to make you watch more ads. Even YouTube. I know that YouTube changed a lot in the last few years. Still, I feel like YouTube is the only platform that is not completely overwhelming with the ads. And maybe TikTok. Yeah, that one. But Instagram and Facebook, it's too much for me. And also because, well, they've changed it now, but the comments, it's yeah. I feel like Instagram and Facebook and maybe Reddit are the social media that turned into this venting space where people just go there to say anything to anyone, send hate because they are unhappy in their own lives, and it should not be that way. And then I cannot even speak about X because I do not spend any time on X, so I cannot talk about that. Yeah, or formerly known as Twitter, but I think that X is also known for that. Then think about it. Why are we even spending so much time on social media when, like, does it even make us feel good? Like watching all this content, watching people just be hateful, and then only watching a bunch of ads. Like, what's the point? What is the point? And when I speak about that, I want to create content. I'm talking about content that would still have that sense of community, like talking about books, maybe fashion, but I don't know if I'll be at that. Same with makeup. Books is what I want to talk about. I want to have that like community, that old feeling that I got from YouTube from like years ago. I'm talking too much about social media, but it's just been on my mind a lot recently. And I feel completely overwhelmed and just done with social media. Do you remember old Instagram when there wasn't that many ads and it was just photos and people were so kind to each other? I want the old Instagram back. Honestly, it's, yeah. Or Tumblr. Do you remember Tumblr? I also had a Tumblr when I was a teenager, and I remember the best part was the complete customization of your blog. And I would even learn how to code a little so that I could change up my theme, and it also had some bad communities on there as well, but that was my happy place back then. Oh my god, Tumblr. I mean, technically it still exists, but it's just it's not the same, and I'm not a teenager anymore, so. But that used to be fun. I want the old feeling from the internet back, not the internet from 2025. It's, yeah. Anyways, that's it for today's ramble. This was more of like a complaining video than like a life update. It's just that sometimes things go well and sometimes they go wrong. And right now I'm going through a bit of like more of a down than up, but I'm sure that things will work out. I'm sure that I'll find a part-time job that would be fulfilling and that would not exhaust me completely. I still am planning on posting on YouTube regularly. If you want more personal content or be more involved, because I always put up polls where the Patreon family can vote on what they would like to see next. On the upper tier I do requests. They're still on brand, like nothing like inappropriate, I'm not about that. And yeah, let's just see what this year will bring, I guess.